Hi Rita, how are you? Yep, I agree. I really hope it's your last essays. You so deserve to do well on Saturday. Okay, I'm glad you've got a map. Let's have a look. So the images display the layout of college at the present time and plan for its design in 2025. Okay. Overall, it's predicted that the college will become expanded. Now, you don't will become expanded, just will be expanded. Yeah. In the future. Yes, there will be more classrooms than the way it is now. The present car park is expected to be enlarged. Not than the way it is now. There'll be more classrooms than, or just there will be more classrooms as well as a modernised entrance. Try and make longer sentences, remember. The present car park is expected to be enlarged. Good. You want all this vocabulary enlarged, developed, transformed. All this vocabulary wants to be coming in here. Now, structure, Rita, today. So I want 4 sections for this. And you've gone into a 5-paragraph essay, which I'm a bit surprised about, and it's really long. We've always done 4 paragraphs, so I'm thinking, why are you suddenly changing this? So let's get this 4 sections, okay? Really important, this. It matters visually to the examiner. It's actually really important. The location of the entrance of the college is forecast to change from its current location in the north to the south near the bus stop. Good. The garden area, which is located, good, is going to be cut down. Would you say cut down? Okay. And a new class of toilet and shop will be built instead. Very nice. I would say removed. Trees can be cut down. A garden, I wouldn't necessarily say is cut down, but you're okay. The language is, the grammar is great. The car park is going to be expanded and will accommodate. You need another will accommodate 2 extra cars. Good work though on the tenses and good work on the passives. The interior design is expected to stay the same, except a few changes to the southeast where the classroom is will become the new library. Except for a few changes to the southeast where the classroom is will become, hang on, except, you just said except for changes to the southeast of the classroom is, you need a which will become a new library, whereas the original place of the library was a, yep, which is going to be a classroom. Okay, complex, that is a good long sentence there, well done. Finally, the toilet area is predicted, careful, to be demolished and a new entrance will be constructed leading to a new reception desk. Well done, very good work on the language there. This sentence is a little bit complicated, just trying to break that up. Expect the same, except for changes to the southeast where the classroom is, which will become the new library, whereas the original, why don't you go which was formerly the new library, formerly located in the southeast, or formerly located where new classrooms will be. Do it that way. I think otherwise it gets a little bit too complicated and repetitive. But otherwise that's fine. You know what you're doing, that's clear. Remember the structure, don't forget that, that's important. You've used some good language in there. These are nice, these maps, I think they work really well. There was a map a couple of weeks ago. Although they're not very common, you need to know how to do them. That is exactly how to do it. You've done really well. Add as much language as you can, Rita, on those ones. You know how to do them, so get the points on the vocabulary. So in the future, it may be necessary for us to live on other planets. For this reason, some people believe we should spend money now researching planets that could be homes. To what extent do you agree? So I think this is very interesting, this essay. I did this with some of my other students and they really enjoyed thinking about this. So we should spend money now. So this bit, spend money now, for me, is one of those key little bits. Spend money now. What else could we spend money on? So I think that's something we need to be thinking about. It's sometimes thought that funds should be allocated on space exploration projects since humankind might one day need to live on different planets. Brilliant. In my opinion, I believe this money should be better spent on solving issues on Earth first. Excellent. And meeting. Okay. Solving. Really good. Yeah, you got that one right. It's the same pattern. Meeting individuals' demands. Demands. How do you mean demands? I think what you mean there is needs. You meet a need, watch out for that. I might make a political demand and demand that I pay less tax, but you meet my need, which is hospitals and education. One significant reason why money ought to be spent on alleviating the issue of poverty in many developing countries is that numerous individuals are suffering from hunger. This means they're struggling to survive. Since they cannot find their daily bread and clean water to satisfy their hunger and quench their thirst. Really nice writing, brilliant. For example, many children in Africa are dying every day suffering from malnutrition, which is a disease. Okay, for this you don't need to say that. But you're right, but you don't need to say that. Governments and organisations worldwide should unite together and subsidise products. Okay. Yes. I'm just worried, Rita, that we need to be addressing this bit about living on other planets first. So I think my layout would probably be to talk about planets first. We could research. One reason here why we could spend money searching on planets, and then why we don't want to. But let's just okay. No. Additionally, these funds. So I would go link back to the title. These funds, instead of being allocated to space research, should be spent. It's really, really important you keep connecting to that title. We've had this issue before a lot of times, Rita. Keep connected to this essay. You're talking about why not to spend it, but you're not going back to why you could spend it. Spent to improve the quality of life of every citizen by providing healthcare, housing, free education. Numerous students cannot pay for their education. Many of them are bright pupils, but they cannot support themselves to pay fees for school or higher education. As a consequence, many of them engage in crime. For instance, in France, the crime rate significantly increased among teenagers who are unschooled. Cannot pay for, you don't need that. It's not unreasonable to assume that if governments pay more attention, that is good. Okay, don't get too carried away. I don't think you need that sentence either. Stick on the point. Really, really stick on the point. Because you still haven't mentioned space travel and Mars, and I'm 3/4 of the way through the essay. Nevertheless, it's often argued that people should consider living on another planet since Earth is polluted. Global warming has changed the climate in recent years and it's expected to become worse in the future. Therefore, funds should be allocated on space. Okay, therefore, yeah, many scientists argue that funds should be spent in finding an inhabitable place. Inhabit. Where people can live. However, it should be acknowledged that space research is a wide topic. You don't need that. Okay, so for me, I would reorganize this essay. I would have this as paragraph 1, one, because that connects me immediately to what your title is. Then I would go, if you want your 3 paragraphs, I go however, and then why it should not be spent on space, it should be spent there, and then that would be my 3rd one. I think it's very important for me structurally, because you're not really addressing the key point of that sentence, that topic, until you get to the bottom. Put that first, then the examiner knows what you're talking about, and then argue against it. So that's just an organisation issue, but that is really important. This I think you should cut because it's too long. You don't need to make it that long. Spend your time, Rita, on the planning and get that planning right. That's the most important message to you. Plan it really carefully. Get the organisation right, then you're fine. Money should be spent, however I strongly believe. Okay, yeah, I agree with your conclusion. So few mistakes. Absolutely brilliant. The only thing here is the structure. I know you can do that. I know you'll do really, really well. Just take the time to think before you rush in. Think about the question, organise it, and then you'll be fine. Don't jump too fast. Just really, really think before you start. Then you'll be absolutely fine, Rita. You've worked so hard. Good luck.